How are you guys doing? I'm so excited to be live here today. Just give me a second. I want to know a bit more about you guys. So as the caption says, we're going to talk about what is Pinterest and why should I use it for my business and how can I use it for my business. But then also I'm going to share a little bit about my story and how I became a Pinterest strategist, because I get the question often, you know, like, where did you begin and how did you become a Pinterest strategist? And another one is like, how do I get paid to pin? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, and I'm just really excited to be chatting with you guys again. I've been sick for a little bit, so you haven't seen me on live, but I'm really excited to dive into a lot of the topics that you guys have been asking me about. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. So anyway, what I want you guys to do is let me know when you're watching live or if you're on the replay. Just say hi. I always come back to the comments, so I will definitely come back and comment if you join late. And then let me know what business you're involved in. So a lot of the times people ask me, does Pinterest relate to my business? And I would love to chat more about different industries and how you can leverage Pinterest for those industries, which means I need to know what kind of businesses you have. So if you're a product-based business, share a bit about that. If you're a service-based business, I'd love to use real-world examples that apply to you whenever I'm talking about any of this stuff. So I'm super excited about that. I am seeing some really cool things since the last time I came on here. So it says, put a mask on to give yourself a funny look. I am totally going to do that. Let's see what we can do. Ooh. Okay, I know I'm coming late to the party with this. Should we go purple? Okay, let's go back here. What are these? Oh, these are fun. Okay, obviously you guys have been doing this for a while, and I'm pretty new to this, so I'm super excited to learn more about how to use those. But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand, which is a bit more about my story and then what is Pinterest and how does it work for my business. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Catherine Morehouse. I'm a Pinterest strategist. I didn't start out as a Pinterest strategist. I actually own my own baby clothing company, which I still do own, and I'm currently transitioning that into more of a digital products for kids business, so they can have fun coloring things and all those kind of activities. So it started out as a product-based business doing beanies, and I handmade the clothing and everything myself. And it was a really awesome experience. I had never done anything like that before. Previous to that, I had a business degree, I have a marketing degree, and so I went into marketing but decided I needed to figure out what I needed to do with my life, and so I actually ended up au pairing, and it was one of the most amazing things I could have done. And that kind of catapulted me into creating my own baby clothing. And I had so much fun with it. It was really such an amazing experience. And then during the time of creating these products, I'm sure anybody who's done a product-based business knows you run into challenges. You're constantly trying to put out fires. You're trying to figure out the best way to market your business. You're trying to figure out the needs of your clients. And also just the next line, like, how do I design that? What am I going to do? How do I get it shipped, etc. And so I found a really amazing Facebook group called the Wake to Make Tribe. Wake to Make Tribe by Lila Higgins. So if you haven't seen it, go and join it. It's for makers. That's anybody who makes anything with their heart and their hands. So it could be a service-based business, a product-based business, and she just provides such great support for you, and the community is really loving. So I joined that and got involved there to the point where eventually I helped her with her Facebook page, and she went away, and then she came back and I said, is there anything else you need help with? And just by asking that question and finding out what it is her need was, and I didn't have any intention to, go into any kind of Pinterest strategy, but she was looking for a VA, and I'd never even thought about the VA world. I was doing this product-based business, and I just thought to myself, why not? Why not try something like this? Because I love social media and I have always loved marketing, and so I thought, what a great way to use the marketing that I have behind me, and also just social media, and do her social media marketing as a VA. And I mean, I'm so thankful for that experience as well, because then I ended up being her VA. And it was such a great experience because I ended up doing podcast show notes, I did editing on blog posts, I added graphics, I did all these things that I didn't do before, and I had to challenge myself to do it. And I encourage you, whatever business you're in, challenge yourself with doing those kind of new things. And so anyway, a couple months later, I realized that I really enjoyed Pinterest the most. I mean, I've always known that I love Pinterest, but I was doing it for someone else. I was really using it to market their business, and I loved it. And I came to the point where I decided to become a Pinterest strategist. And it was a scary moment because you wonder, will anybody else pay me to do this? Do people need this? But I knew that they did because I already had a client for that. So I decided I was going to just pursue it because it was one of the things that I enjoyed the most, and I did. And I got booked up with clients, and it's just been an amazing journey since then, really diving into Pinterest and being able to help businesses from product-based businesses to service-based businesses really grow their audience, their leads, their income, their passive income through Pinterest, and leveraging it in the best possible way for their businesses. And the one thing that I keep getting over and over again is just people want that kind of information, the stuff that I'm doing every single day. They want a blueprint. And so I'm actually focusing in on providing courses and trainings, online trainings for you guys, so that you guys can get all of those answers, that everything that I learn and that I figure out and that I challenge myself with, and then also the marketing degree I have that has showed me how the benefit of a marketing plan and long-term marketing strategy applies to Pinterest. And so I'm trying to kind of share that with you guys, and that's my goal with the Facebook Lives as well. It's really just to give you everything I know and help you do it yourself, because I can't take on everybody's Pinterest account, but I really want you guys to thrive. So then another thing is, if you don't know what Pinterest is, you're probably one of the few people, but Pinterest is a really great social media tool, search engine. It's an interesting point that we're at the moment, where Pinterest was initially categorized as a social media platform, which it still is. However, one of the things I want you to keep in mind is that it's actually more like a search engine, a visual search engine. Okay, so Pinterest is a virtual pin board. So if you think about it in that sense, it's like taking a pin board that you put in your office and you post, you would pin some visualization, you would pin things that you aspire to have or designs that you really enjoy. But with this virtual pin board, it's like it says, it's online. So you can get access to pins from all over the world that people have created, whether it's recipes, business tips, the latest books you need to purchase, a house, cars, everything. You can find anything on Pinterest. Business, pleasure, everything that you can set aside and pin as the aspiring lifestyle that you want. And so Pinterest started as a place, a visual pin board for all of your desires, for the things that you want to aspire to in your lifestyle. So it could be mostly recipes at that point, DIY. There was, parenting tips. There was women's fashion, men's fashion, and it just grew and grew to the point now that it is actually also a business platform, and you can share your business content on Pinterest because people are actively searching on there for those answers. So if you thought that Pinterest was just for recipes and DIY, I'm here to say it isn't. Okay, it's a place for a multitude of businesses, so anybody's industry is generally on Pinterest already. If it isn't, it's probably one of the select few that isn't on Pinterest, but most, you've got lawyers on Pinterest, you've got medical things on Pinterest, you've got branding specialists, you've got social media marketers, you have wellness centers, you have yoga studios, you have everything sharing their content and their knowledge on Pinterest because people are looking for it. And the reason they're doing this is because Pinterest has evolved into having an algorithm, a back end that is similar to Google, where it's a search engine. So a lot of it is driven by search results. You search for something, you type it in just like you would in Google, and your search results pop up, and it's in a visual format. So it's a very visual thing. It's It's less of just the text-based results that you get back. You're now getting visual results. You're getting things that are going to visually show you how to answer your question or a recipe or anything like that. So it's a great place for your ideal client to be, and they generally are there, because they are looking for answers. One, they're looking for things that they can pin to help them create this lifestyle that they aspire to. And a lot of people, if you're in the service-based industry or product-based industry, you'll find that your ideal client is one, pinning products that they want in their lives or the ideal that they're working towards. Two, they're looking for answers to their problems that would help them get over this barrier that they're facing. So if you're a B2B business where you offer a service, like social media marketers offer a service to other businesses, you are going to be presenting content to help them and empower them with their marketing strategy, their social media marketing strategy. And you're going to help them get to a point where they can implement that and see the results. And so they might search on Pinterest, for example, like I've just seen with geo filters and things like that. They're going to say, what is a geo filter? How do I use geo filters? How do I do a Facebook Live? How do I get the geo filters for XYZ? All these kind of questions they actually end up asking in Pinterest, and they keep searching it in Pinterest because they know they're going to get the blog post image, which is visual, and they're going to see content based on those answers. They're going to get the results back because it's similar to a search engine. And so Pinterest is just this wonderful tool that you can be using in your business. And so I hope that I've encouraged you with this. I hope that if you thought that Pinterest was just for DIY or recipes, that it isn't. It's a place for all kinds of answers. It's a place where you can share your knowledge and help answer the questions that your ideal client has. I've seen content up there from so many different industries. I have clients in many different industries, and all of them have seen great results with Pinterest. And I don't want this to be a Facebook Live where you think, oh, okay, now I have to be on Pinterest as well. I'm already on Instagram, I'm already on Snapchat, I'm already on all these different platforms. Now I have to do Pinterest. I don't want to make you spread yourself thin. I want to empower you should you choose to use Pinterest. And I want to give you the tools that you need to use Pinterest for your business. And then I want to also share with you the success that my clients have had on Pinterest so that you can see that it is such a great platform for long-term marketing, and that it is, for most of my clients, the highest traffic referrer. So if you're already very active on Facebook and you've reached a point where you're ready to expand into another platform, I would encourage you to try Pinterest and to implement the strategies that I give you and use them for your business and see what kind of traffic results you end up getting, because it's a great way to gain leads, it's a great way to sell your courses, it's a great way to sell your products. Send them straight to Etsy, send them straight to your site. It just gives you such a great platform because it's both visual and search engine based, and it has a long lifespan. So one piece of content going up there lasts for years. You've got a blog post, it can take off in 2 years from now. It still brings you results years later. I have a client who has one pin that provides 1,000 leads every single month, over 1,000 leads every single month, and that blog post is years old. It was created, I think, almost 1.5 to 2 years ago plus, and it's still bringing in those leads, and it's been bringing in that amount of traffic for over a year now. So 1,000 leads per month for over a year. And it was one blog post written way back when that can get updated, that can have an opt-in added to it, and you don't have to do much more than that. So this content just has this long lifespan, and it just feels like so rewarding when you get all of these leads and you've only had to spend a small amount of time on the content. So if you have any other questions about Pinterest, I want you to leave them in the comments. I want you to tell me this one thing. What is the one thing that you are struggling with regards to Pinterest? If something is somehow stopping you from really diving into it, what is that question? I want you to share that with me because I want to give you the answers to that. I want to help you. I want to create an easy way for you to add it into your week. If it's, how do I pin that much, that often? I'm going to give you the answer to streamline it. If it's just the fact that you don't understand how rich pins work, and that should I even have rich pins, and how am I going to repin my content so that people actually end up clicking through? Any of those things, anything that's holding you back, anything that you're struggling with that is hindering your leads, hindering your reach or anything like that, I want you to leave that in the comments. So tell me one thing that you're struggling with, or that is just you need an answer to with regards to Pinterest. Leave that in the comments and I'll come back in the replay and check those comments. And I'm really excited just to start diving into more Pinterest things. So have a great day and I look forward to hearing all of your questions. Bye guys.